Why
and
would you like him?
and I did like put miscellaneous things on here, but also I'm not really overly attached to any of the topics. Um, we don't have anything under salon culture
Mm-mm.
this week. Do you have any salon stuff that you want to?
No, not really.
Okay.
Did you?
No.
Oh,
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Besides the fact just that I'm an introvert naturally, and with everything going on in the world, it's like the struggle has been real, right? Like going in and being on at work all day, every day, and then like I'm just spent.
hmm,
I'm just spent.
literally.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I don't outside of that, I don't really have anything to add to it. And there's just been so much going on. So I know that a big thing that I wanted to make sure that we got to, which is technically not until politics, but the Voting Rights Act and the redistricting and everything that's happening with that. Also, I saw that Jasmine Crockett was in St. Louis acting an ass recently. Did you guys hear anything about that? Did you know anyone that was there? Like,
I
you
just
know what I'm
saw
talking about?
on what was on social media.
Yeah. And I don't know that like too many places like normal average people would be there because one of them, I think one of the videos is from like a DNC sponsored event and maybe the other one is like a smaller private event, but I don't think your average activist would be invited.
That's fair. Um, so my understanding, because I'm not in St. Louis, so my For You page is probably is quite a bit less local than that. But I mean, basically what I saw is that she was at some private donor event and like basically endorsed Wesley Bell, and she thought it was like a closed door thing, and now it's out, and now she's like came out and like made some statements, but like hasn't really cleared it up, right? Like you still at the end of the day are supporting a Zionist who had his own citizens beat up at a town hall, like no longer actually does public town halls to my understanding, has sexual assault allegations, is like a stooge for Israel. And I've been off Jasmine and AOC, if we're being real, for a while. Because I feel like their actions don't match their words and haven't for a really long time. But like, am I just tripping? Like, talk to me about this because like voting, like midterms are coming up, and people are like, we already know how I feel about the blue no matter who crowd. Like, are we making change or are we just voting for Democrats? Like, what's going on? Somebody talk to me about something because I feel
I don't
crazy.
think that we're necessarily voting. I don't think that we could vote for change. Like, I don't think that there's a way in which you could necessarily vote your way out of where we're at. And especially with Democrats and the way that the Democratic Party is set up, they're just kind of paid opposition or something. They're just there to, make it look like or controlled opposition. That's the word. They're making it seem like there's somebody that's actually against the things that are going on, but they have a lot of the same corporate interests and corporate donors, and it's hard to get into politics without money and then be sustained without money. Even you see with what happened to like Thomas Massey and the way that APAC poured all that money into his race, and although he had been super popular in his district, up until recently, money talks and everything else walk. So I don't know that we could ever even vote ourselves out of it. And I like not that I've been like a staunch defender of Jasmine Crockett. I've always been that I hated the way that people talked about her, but then refused to dig up what Tallarico is into.
Mm,
And he too is very much trash, like super trash,
mhm,
APAC funded trash, even more so, you know, openly than she is. And
mhm.
so that's the only thing that I've had an issue with is people being super against her candidacy, but big up in Tallarico as if he's not the same guy, only wrapped in white Christian nationalism. Um, and yeah, I'm super surprised that she endorsed Wesley in the way that she did. And I'm wondering, my first thought was, again, she thought it wasn't going to get out. And two, I wonder if she's, you know, like everybody else, playing the game because she's about to be out of a job in Congress. And so the best likely
Because of
step
the
for her,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
She just
yeah.
lost.
So
Yeah.
like what really is her endorsement, unless she plans on taking a job with the DNC.
Mm.
And what, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what if she's here and it was a private fundraiser supposedly for the DNC? Um, you know what I'm saying? Is she playing the game because she's about to be unemployed and she's looking, you know what I'm saying, for her next meal? I don't know.
It's a good little theory.
Yeah, just came up with that.
Right off the top of the dome.
Workshopped it right here.
Yeah. Impact and I have said for quite some time that we don't feel like we're, even before Trump got into office, I didn't feel like we were in a space that we could vote ourselves out of it. And now, like, just when I'm thinking about like how this shit moves, right? So like when Trump won the first time, um, right?
Heavy on
He
the
did
quotations.
heavy on the quotations, right? So he did what he did for 4 years, right? And then Biden won and got into office and didn't reverse literally anything that Trump did. Like just jumped in and just picked up where he left off and moved forward like nothing happened. Now he's back in office. It's been barely a year and a half. And well, I mean, we all know what outside looks like right now. And I'm just thinking like, and the Democrats are doing literally nothing about it. Like they're not even talking that much shit. Like they're just absent. They're just absent. Um and then I feel like they're gonna try to guilt us into some "you're not black if you don't vote for Democrat" shit, in 2028, just to not get in office and like not reverse anything again and just pick up where he left off. Like we're not gonna address the fact that we're literally rolling back the Voting Rights Act. We're not gonna address the fact, is it in New Orleans? What is that lady's name? Wasserman?
We're talking about like Debbie Wasserman,
Yes, where is she from?
Florida.
And you see where she's already an elected official, but she's like trying to leave the what is it called, the area that she represents, and like go run in like a majority black district. Like, bitch, you already have a job. What's going on?
Yeah,
What's going on? And why isn't shit on fire yet? Like, that's literally where I'm at.
I'm right
What's
there with
going
you.
on?
Valid.
Like in New Orleans, they're literally redrawing the maps while people are standing in line voting. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and I want to say that like people like have been like oddly keeping Missouri out of this conversation, but Missouri is definitely like entangled right in the middle. They took away the Kansas City district. They allowed us, I wonder why, allowed us to keep the St. Louis district intact with our representative being Wesley
They
Bell.
don't want shit.
Um,
Oh, well, ah.
Well, and I mean, I have lots of theories on why they didn't really mess with St. Louis. You know what I'm
I want
saying?
to
One
hear
of
the
them being
theory.
Ferguson. Well, one
Yeah,
of them being just in a
Ferguson.
in a nutshell,
Ferguson and
Ferguson.
Wesley Bell. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my two big things. And so you were saying, while people are standing in line in like New Orleans, well, where our primary is August, I believe August 4th. And the last day to certify the signatures for the ballot measure that we have surrounding this is like the 4th. And the attorney general is like holding up the signatures and like appealing them until like the last minute. And so they're hoping to run out the clock so that they can keep the districts with Kansas City being divided in like literally along a straight line. And even if it does, even if between August 4th and November, they can get that changed or rolled back, there's a chance that a judge will, this November, it still stands because it's part of the same election and we wouldn't want to blah. So they're doing everything in their power to run down the clock in all these states, all these red states, predominantly red states.
I also saw St. Charles banned data centers.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah. They're like the first, I think they're the first city in the United States to outright ban them,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I
So,
knew that they were fighting back against one recently and I know that they won. But I didn't know that they had outright banned them. Good for them,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to build a data center in St. Louis
I was
in the
that's
middle
what I
of
was about to say.
downtown.
Mhm.
In the middle of downtown St. Louis? Is that
Yeah,
what you said?
where I mean, it's like closer to like Union Station and like the Greyhound station, but I mean, it's just south of downtown. Like you could walk to downtown from from literal downtown from where they're about to build this data center. And Kara Spencer like just literally sold St. Louis out, you know what I'm saying? Just like all in front of our faces. And then like I'll get on like TikTok or like Facebook and there'll all these white leftists who are pretending as if several Black women did not tell them this is exactly what would happen
Yeah.
as she ran against a competent Black woman, whether you
Yeah.
liked Charlotte Jones or not.
Yeah. I'm
So
just so sick and tired of being gaslit and like, do y'all want to fight? Yes or no?
they've already said yes so many times.
But yeah, but we're not fighting though. We're still
No.
just like screaming into the void. I just,
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Super
And
tired.
I
It's
hate,
exhausting. But I think that's the
and
point, right? Like the
right,
flood the zone strategy is like to break people down and make people tired. And they're just like, and then you go into work and most, workspaces, especially like America and like the white politeness have like, the culture of you don't really talk about politics. You don't, you whatever, you're just kind, nice, professional, do your job and go home, and then that's all you have enough for. Like meanwhile, you're like slowly dying inside and the person that works next to you is a Trumper. And how dare
I
you
think
speak to me every day?
I think if I were to like work in corporate America, I think there would have been an incident.
I don't know if I told you I guess it was a couple of months ago now. There's a little Mexican restaurant down the street from my house. It's like probably right at a mile away from my house. They make really good, really cheap margaritas. I like to stop there from time to time on my way home from work.
Felt like we went there.
Yes, we did. The place I took you to, yes. So recently, in the last couple of months, I stopped on my way home from work and I'm sitting at the bar, and I remember when I walked in, there was this woman. As a hairstylist, I'm sure you can relate to this, Impad. Like, you notice people's hair. So, like, I remember thinking her balayage was on point. Like, whoever did her balayage, her shit was fire. And I remember seeing that, but just like not. So I'm like doing whatever I'm doing. So this girl comes in. She has super curly hair, and she sits next to me. And so we get to talking, and I find out she just moved here not that long ago. And I, who am really trying to move more towards specializing in curly hair specifically, am talking to her about her curls and how amazing they are. And do you have a hairstylist? And da da da. So we have this conversation. She leaves. And then the lady next to me with the fire balayage goes, "Did I hear you say you're a hairstylist?" I'm like, "Yeah." So it turns out she's like an area manager for Ulta salons.
Oh,
And the Ulta that's not far from where I live needs a manager. And she's like offering me this position as a manager at this Ulta salon. And I told her, "I am unemployable. You will fire me tomorrow. You can hire me today. You will fire me tomorrow because I'm not going to say, I got some shit to say and I'm going to say it." Like, you're not going to sit in my chair. And we're in fucking Trump country, bitch. I got some shit to say.
yeah.
I'm unemployable. She says, "Okay, well, thanks for letting me know." Yeah, bitch. Keep walking. Promise you, you are gonna get fired if you hire me. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could like bite my tongue anymore.
I'm just, yeah. So, and I don't really say much anymore, but I make it very clear from the moment you walk in, there are signs. And it would be smart of you to just take note of them. And yeah, people do.
Know your
Generally.
surroundings.
Yeah. Like, there's sharp tools in here.
That's
And a
what I
sticker that says, "My favorite far left idea is, everyone should be able to eat and have housing." So, like, what we're not going to do is be Trumpy right now. Don't piss me
Right.
Hello.
off. Don't piss me
Please do not piss me off.
off.
Mm,
Yeah. All right. What else is going on in the world besides fucking Jasmine Crockett complaining about white supremacy and then doing everything she can to uphold it?
Right. Word.
What else? So I'm noticing, this is also political, but I just feel like I'm in a political space today. So, like, feel free to change the subject.
What isn't political? There's also that.
There's also that. So I'm noticing that there's like a really strong push right now for the middle, for like getting, and I think I've talked about this on past episodes, like the whole America First rebrand from MAGA. They're calling it America First, but it feels very much like they're trying to get all of the middle people to like stick together. And maybe this is what they've always done, and I'm just more irritated by now than usual. But when Tucker Carlson is making sense and Marjorie Taylor Greene is making sense, like, what the fuck planet are we on?
I mean, I think that, like, I think they've always been a, like, let's get the middle to come together kind of thing, because the middle supports conservatism loosely anyway. But I think that Tucker Carlson is not stupid. He plays stupid on TV. He is not actually a stupid person. He plays stupid on TV. And that's evident by some of the things that he's been saying. So it's not that we agree with Tucker Carlson. He's just agreeing with us on this. But I think that's only because he is smart and he sees the writing on the wall. And he understands that in order for him to survive, he's got to pivot. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, while not intelligent of a person, I think that although her morals, values, or whatever are screwed up, I think she's somebody that actually did, to some extent, believe her own bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that she has came to a realization on the things that were important to her. And a lot of it was because it started to affect her personally, her family, her friends, like the town. And so I think that's what it was for her. Do I think that she would vote for a Trump third term or something similar to it? Absolutely. Um, I just think there comes a time when even the most radical of people are like, nah, that's too far. Too far.
Yeah. You have thoughts, Impad?
I don't know. Like, I guess I would agree. Like, I just feel like they're just kind of pivoting to keep relevant and to like not be like eaten alive if or when people decide to like, hey, we shouldn't be living like this anymore. Because I don't know, I feel like you need to hold like them accountable too, because they have spread so much misinformation and like supporting all of this. And yeah, now that it's affecting you, you're like, actually, wait a minute, pause. It's like, no,
Keep that
what's
same
going
energy.
on here?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
And I just have a feeling that yeah, they're just trying to like get on the good side so that they're not affected. And if Trump does, or another Trump supporter like becomes president, they'll switch up their tune again and then automatically be on that side. And like that's what I'm having issues with, is like some people, I guess, wanting to stay comfortable until it's decided like where's it gonna go. Like, is there gonna be some kind of riot revolution, or is it just gonna be authoritism?
Yeah. 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 And speaking of MAGA traders, what's that what girl's name? Ashley St. Clair. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know about her? Like,
Yes.
I need to go down the T a little bit more. I've only watched like maybe 4 or 5 videos, which I feel like is probably too many. But also, I watched like a couple of like her get ready with me's, and then I've seen a few clips of her and Hassan Piker, who I don't know about him. I need somebody to walk me back from this ledge, but yeah, their interview was very interesting just in and of itself. But I just feel like my whole thing is that yes, they should be speaking out, being on the right side of history, whether it's going to benefit them personally or not. And also, white people are way too willing to forgive other dangerous ass white people because, like, the vast majority of the people being like, yeah, let her spill the tea, but I don't trust that bitch, are Black people and other people of color. I don't really see white people are like, oh my God, she's so revolutionary. And it's like, no, she's not. She's a bitter ass baby mama spilling the fucking tea like anybody the fuck else, and go off, sis. And also, you are not to be trusted.
Right.
You are untrustworthy.
You have a baby the old-fashioned way with Elon Musk. Clearly, your judgment cannot be trusted.
Yes, at all.
How did you look at Elon Musk and was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him?
Yeah. And you don't be giving his baby mamas no money. Like,
no.
Yeah, so I don't know who Hassan Piker is. I just have started hearing his name very recently. So I feel like he's a Fed, because where the fuck did he even come from?
He's a
even like I think some of that too is that we're old, because I feel like he really got like relevant on like Twitch. Sorry, on like
Right.
Twitch or something. Is that what it's called? Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
He's
you.
a
Thank you.
streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like, I mean, because like I semi heard it because he's not really that young. I want to say he's like mid-30s or
I
something,
think
and he's
he's
been
older
around.
than me.
Okay. But I would say he's been around for a while, but I think the way in which he got famous is not a way in which we would know who he was or have, real access to his content. And then he really got famous, or really, I think, started probably coming into like the general media scheme was like I was like through Rokana, like was on his stream or whatever. And there's been some like major players. I think he was here in St. Louis with Corey Bush recently. So there's been some major players who have given him a broader like mainstream media platform. But other than that, he could have had 10 million Twitch viewers and we never would have known who he was ever.
Yeah, no, he's giving fed to me. But also, I guess maybe it's just a part of the broader push, because why is people like Ashley St. Clair coming across my timeline? Like, on what planet does that make sense in my algorithm? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And like, I think we talked about before Impad that like Candace Owens, why is she coming across our
Yes, you're in
timeline?
my brain. I literally was just
Yeah.
about to say, like, yeah, when Candace Owen kind of had some,
Because she's
Yeah, it's like
saying
they're
things that we would agree with. That's
yeah,
one. Or I mean, or she's agreeing with us. Let's say it
yeah.
like that. She's agreeing with us. And I think too, also there are more like Black people, people of color, leftists who are analyzing, this new iteration of Candace.
Mhm.
That's it. So
mhm.
I think that's why, like, because usually when any of these people come across my timeline, it's through, it's
They're
the
getting
medium is
roasted.
somebody else. Huh?
Normally, when like someone like Candace Owens comes across my timeline, it's because she's being roasted. But
Yeah.
now it's like her content is being pushed to me.
Yeah.
And Key said this to me recently too, like that I don't really do Facebook much anymore. Like at all. By much anymore, I mean at all, except when I had to go on there and gather my retarded ass husband. But she was talking about how she but she was talking about how she logged onto Facebook and was getting, in her, these are her words, not mine. Like that she logged onto Facebook and she's been logging onto Facebook for years, and all of a sudden a bunch of conservative propaganda is being pushed to her. Like it's on her feed everywhere.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just feels
I mean,
like
with
there's this
Oracle taking
broader
over,
media push.
well, that whole Oracle
Algorithm.
takeover,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Yeah, TikTok and everything. I've heard other, people say, similar things that their algorithm is changing. They're getting more things. They're not getting like the news from Gaza as much anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
You have to go look for
so
it.
yeah. You got to look for it. But
I see.
but like, I don't really get most of what I get about Candace is somebody talking about her. But I will say it's less roasting now than it is. Can you
Right.
believe that she's saying this?
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I see on my Facebook, it's funny because I don't really interact with like secret lives of Mormon wives on Facebook, but so much of their videos and like all the private little group pages try to get me to follow it. And I'm like, I do not want to interact with that content on Facebook. Like, please.
I wonder because like I've never watched that either, but I get a lot of like secret lives of Mormon wives on TikTok.
Yeah.
And because the tea is kind of like it's hot, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
these hoes be hoeing. So
I think they're trying to get back to their roots of fundamentalist Mormonism. Like,
yeah,
just go ahead and be polygamist.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But they be outside. So like I don't watch the show at all, and I don't even necessarily like the videos that I come across, but if they're talking about them, doing, on their hotels, I'll definitely tee in for a little bit.
I thought season 1, definitely if you're a reality TV watcher, will hook
Mhm.
you. Like,
Yeah.
that's when she gets arrested, with all these videos that have been recirculating. Like, that's when she gets arrested, and just, you're meeting the girls and like little bit of drama. I thought season 2 and 3 were kind of boring.
Mm.
And then they
Yeah.
just came out with season 4, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'll watch it."
Yeah.
Are they the
I'm
ones
fine
that
living
went?
through I'm just fine living through the social media videos.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that went viral on TikTok like maybe last year because they had the whole like scandal where they were cheating, like there was some. Okay, it's the
Yeah.
Mhm.
same crowd. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
The most,
But
I feel like,
apparently
They were
we've been
swingers, right?
finding well, here's
yes,
the thing, but
supposed
apparently they weren't having sex. They were just, like, kissing.
Get the fuck
So,
out
yeah, because well, I don't know, they could be, like, lying, of course,
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
I'm like,
but
promise y'all did all that for kissing.
yeah,
yeah, because to them, like, hooking up can be just kissing, and
that's
it's
true.
like,
I feel like that's
they're
propaganda.
not
Yeah,
different.
and and I went to high school with people that thought that having anal sex still made them pure. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same mentality.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they'd be like, and so they're like, well, we just hooked up. We didn't actually have sex, but I did give him a
Yeah, they
blowjob.
could have been
Type
soaking
folks,
for all we know,
Okay.
so
right?
which I'm like, how is
Insane.
that not sex? Like, penetration happened.
Yeah,
Like,
Whether it's your
exactly.
mouth or your booty hole, you were still
yeah, like,
penetrated.
huh?
So yeah, what the definition of is
You
basically,
know, you know. Wow.
and people are just again, gonna believe them because they're white.
Facts.
Well, and looking back, like, so the original Mom Talk was Taylor, Miranda, and some other blonde girl. I don't know her name. But Taylor and Miranda look very similar. The only difference is Taylor has brown hair and Miranda has blonde hair. And even their husbands, like, looked similar. So I'm just like, I think there's probably a lot to unpack here.
I think so. I think so. All that sexual repression, all that
Yeah.
like having, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's probably why they're on TV. They need to just go ahead and release all the tea. That's why we're tuning in. We're not tuning in because they're all pious and Mormon. We're tuning in because they're having random orgies.
Yeah. Because watching you be pious would be, super boring.
Boring, right? We're here for the drama. We're here to escape because the world is so crazy. We need to tune in to your craziness to escape from the rest of the world.
Literally. Not for real.
It is funny to see like reality shows nowadays and how like the audience responds to them because sometimes I'm like, oof, some of the shows that I grew up with, y'all wouldn't have survived it.
No.
I just came across a clip. I think the show was called Date My Mom. Did you guys ever remember that or hear about that?
Mhm.
It was on MTV or like one of the VH1,
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
channels.
Yeah.
And literally a guy would date 3 moms and the moms would tell him about like their daughters, and then at the end like he has to pick which mom he liked the best to date her daughter.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it was the young man. It was not a grown man that was dating the mom.
No.
It's
It
still
was
weird as
like
fuck.
yeah, it was like typically like young 20-year-olds.
Yeah. You're dating the
Yeah.
mom to find out if you would want to date the daughter.
I
Yeah.
got you.
And
No,
the
it threw
one
me off because I was just on Reddit the other day, and it was a dating profile of this woman who was kept talking about her two teenage daughters. Like, this is your dating profile. And she just kept talking about her it just was weird. It was weird. Like,
mm,
if you're looking for a date, why do you keep throwing it? Felt like she was um offering,
Advertising.
yeah,
Yeah.
advertising. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. So that's what I thought when you were talking about it initially. I'm like, what the fuck is
Oh,
going
no,
on?
and mind you, this was,
What in
like
the Epstein files is going
no,
on?
and I wanna say this was what, like, 2004 to maybe 2006?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that was
I remember that. I do remember that show.
and Room Raiders, that was
Yeah.
another one that was kinda
Yeah, I
like
remember that.
creepy.
I'm trying to
Y-
think what reality shows were. The first reality show I remember watching was called Joe Millionaire. And it was like this
Yes,
guy
I remember that.
who was like a single guy looking for women to date, but he was actually secretly a millionaire, but the girls thought he was like, a goat herder or something.
Oh, a regular Joe
A
Schmo.
regular Joe, but then it turned out he was a millionaire, yeah.
Mm.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I mean, The
And I was
Real
hooked.
World came out in, like, the '90s, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I do remember, yeah, the real world.
I really feel like lifestyles of the rich and famous really kind of kicked off like the kind of reality, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. Um, just from like an out, like a voyeur perspective of
Yeah.
looking how rich people live. And this is their reality, even though it kind of wasn't. And then you got into the whole real world of it all.
Yeah.
MTV Cribs, you know what I'm saying? And then like what I really enjoy, which is the trashy reality dating show
Yeah.
that finds love in the midst of all this
Yeah.
chaos.
Are You
I'm
the
such a
One?
sucker for a love show.
Yes,
I'm such a sucker for a show for people falling in love. I'm a sucker for
yes, same,
it. I am
same.
a sucker for love for sure.
Yes, yes. But I also I get like because I do watch Love is Blind and I get like people get really upset like when like a couple doesn't work out or like hardly anybody ever gets married. And I'm like, yes, we want at least like 1 to 2 good love stories, but like it
Mhm.
would be boring if
We're here
everybody
for the
got
tea,
married.
though. Yeah, we're here for the tea.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
We
here to watch
want
people be messy.
yeah, yeah. We want to see if those red flags panned out in the end, like come on now. And then like and for people to say that like people stayed married for like 4 to 5 years and it wasn't a successful show or it wasn't a successful relationship. And I'm just like, 4 to 5 years is a successful
That's a long ass
relationship. Like
time. Yeah, no,
that's a
that's a
good
long time.
relationship. And then you got out with your dignity intact because you decided not to stay with this person you can't stand for the rest of your life. Like I don't understand like a success. You
Yeah,
found somebody, you got married, you stayed married for half a decade. Boom, winning, winning.
Right.
You didn't do that on your own.
yeah, nah, definitely no, for real.
Yeah,
4 to 5 years is a long ass time.
yeah, yeah,
You could have got a college degree in that time.
yeah.
Like that's a long time. That's
You could have
effort.
raised the kid to kindergarten, you know, then they little ass off to school.
Right.
Yeah, I think so I think people will be tripping. You just gotta, enjoy the process and the messiness. And that is why I am excited for Love Island to be coming out in a week or so.
Is it coming back out? Okay. I
June
just saw
2nd.
speaking of Love Island, I just saw Olandria. I don't know. She was with like some African designer that's about to design some. So you know what I'm talking about?
She's in
Mhm.
She's where?
Lagos, right?
But yeah,
Okay, I don't know.
Nigeria.
I saw it in passing and I didn't click, but I was super excited to see her dressed in that.
Yeah,
In a continental African designer. I'm like, oh, that's gonna eat.
yes, yes,
She's
yes.
just
She's doing it big.
Yeah,
I love her.
yeah. And her and Nick are still good. I haven't seen him with her lately. They're still good as
Yeah,
far as we know.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
so, as far as I
yeah,
know.
yeah. As far as
'Cause
I mean, at least they play
he
good on
did
social
say,
media.
yeah, because he did say in the, because there was just Beyond the Villa, and he popped
Yeah,
up for literally like 2 minutes. But he was kind of telling one of the other, he was telling TJ how him and Alandria have been keeping it kind of like private. He was like, I really only, we really only show the world like 10% now because fans are like fucking crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, I
right.
could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, whether they're together or not, very successful. And if they
Yeah,
were not together, he was still a good friend. He was a
Yeah.
great friend. Like, 'cause he
exactly.
really, especially in the beginning, made sure that she got on and got where she needed to be in her career and never like hated or stifled it or got in the way being, messy and nasty.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
again, it's success. We don't need them to get married and have a little Marcel's.
Right. Not right now.
Not
Have
right.
y'all seen? And maybe we'll have to come back to it another time. That just made me think about this TikTok I saw where it was a biracial girl. What were you gonna
I
say?
was gonna say, so going back to Love Island, did you see that Daya is pregnant?
Yes,
Daya?
yes, I did. I didn't really go into it because she annoyed me, but yes, I saw
Yeah.
that she's pregnant. And that
Yeah.
was
And
clickbait.
everyone in the comments were like, is it an NFL players?
And that was quick. That was quick.
Very quick. But everyone's on their own timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But what were you saying, Taj?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it was completely unrelated, and it was
Oh,
triggered by something that one of you said that I don't even remember now because
You said a
okay.
biracial.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
biracial
a
girl.
biracial girl on TikTok, and I think I might have. I was trying to look to see if I sent it to myself, because if I did, I'll pull it up and share it with you. But it was a biracial girl that was basically like, I'm begging y'all to stop having babies with white women. Like, she had a white mom and she was just like, I'm begging y'all, stop fucking having babies with white women. If she hasn't read like at least one book about Black liberation, do not have a baby with this hoe. Like, you know what I mean? And she was just like snapping. And so, yeah, I was just curious if you guys had seen it. And I was
No.
looking to see if I sent it to myself because I was like, oh,
But it did trigger another conversation along that lines, which is the DMs that got released of like the white women talking about
yes,
like
how
getting
to
with
bag
them.
a NFL player.
Yeah, yeah. And so first of all, to that girl's point, I mean, I think that like, it's under the current conditions, why would you want to be, with someone that's not even willing to learn about the struggle of Black people and then procreate with them and then have them struggle to raise a child and create all this trauma. And also when you loop in those DMs, it's like, well, this is the point is, well, whatever their point is that, like they have a system created around it, especially if the man has money so that they can live a comfortable life, because that's more important than anything else. Vacationing in Cancun, I believe, is what she said. I'm vacationing in Cancun. My life is great. And so just to see then, like, I've always known this. And as somebody who went to a D1 school, who was in a relationship with an athlete, a D1 athlete at the school who had like great, like scouting prospects and everything, like we have been saying, so that was like 20 plus years ago. We have been saying this forever, like that the way that these white women show up, they come from good homes where they have a car when they get to college that their parents are paying for. So any extra money they have, they can put towards that athlete. These Black people, I mean, yes, there are Black girls up there who come from families like that, but the vast majority of Black people got to college because they worked really hard and got a scholarship. So you have vastly many more white women who are basically trained. Like you could tell, like we would be walking in the mall, this fool makes $0, you know what I'm saying? He's barely passing his classes, and young white girls are coming up to him asking for his autograph.
And
So
yeah,
it's a culture. It's a culture of fandom, and like doing this for athletes, or even men with money in general, like having those prospects and becoming the Stepford wife in order to live a more comfortable life, regardless of anything else, any
yeah,
other consequences.
yeah. Yeah, I did. Do you see the video of the young black man filming his white mom calling him a hard ER? Yes. I just saw that video earlier today. Did y'all see that?
No.
Yeah, it's I think I saw it on Twitter, but it's this white woman and she's like crashing out. But yeah, she's talking about the hard, yeah. She's calling him the hard ER, and he's talking, he's like, yeah, nah, get it out. Like we need people to see the real, whatever her name is. And yeah, it was his
Right.
mom. It was his mom. Yeah. And I just can't imagine. I just literally can't imagine. Um
Yeah,
yeah, but
that's crazy.
I just found it fascinating that it was a girl who had a white mom that was saying that. And so, yeah, I just found that fascinating. And I haven't gone down that, like, I know I saved it. I was looking to see because I thought I sent it to myself, but I guess I didn't. Um, but yeah, I was like, I got to go back and revisit that and go
Yeah.
see like what the rest of her page is talking about because
I
that's,
mean, if she has a terrible white mother, then she probably has the front row seat to
yeah,
being called that hard ER, somebody who didn't care enough to learn how to do her hair,
yeah,
someone who like fetishized black men but hated black women. And I think a lot of times, like the mixed girls can have it the worst if your mom likes black men, but she
but doesn't
doesn't
like
have
black
any
women.
relationships with black women.
Yeah.
Because now she has to have a
And that,
relationship with a black woman.
yeah. And that was one of the things they said, right? Like he'll always be attracted to black women. So make sure you're like, what did they say? Like picking at her to bring out the shenane in her.
Yeah,
Like beat this bitch's ass.
right.
Somebody needs to beat this bitch ass.
But you know what? But this is my thing though. And that could be circulated at every college, at every D1 college, to every black male athlete who, could possibly be in, one of these pro leagues one day, and 95% of them still gonna choose that gold digging as
Mm-hmm.
scamming ass white girl.
Mm-hmm. While calling black women gold diggers.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. And then,
For
and
sure.
then, and it's like we as like black women would be like, oh, these white girls are easy. Or they're the reason why these black athletes date you is because you are easier. You're not giving him any resistance. And people would be like, oh, you're a hater. You're a hater. And it's like, no, that is literally the play. You know what I'm saying? Which is why they'll get married to these women, have a couple
Mhm.
babies, and they're like, who is this crazy bitch? Like, I don't know. I don't know her, because now that she knows that the bag is secure, because if you leave her, she's still gonna collect that check. So she don't even care anymore. She's like, oh, okay, now I can let the real Karen out.
Yeah.
Here's the real Susan, because she already got the baby, she already got that ring.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Is it crazy, or is it, you know what I'm saying, just part and partial to who white people are, and them being willing to build financial success off of black people's bodies? That's all that they're doing. Like, that's who they are. And they show over and over again. And like the thing is that they're just like a little creative in how they do it, but not that creative, because it's still the same shit.
Yeah.
So I'll tell this story really fast. I had got an Uber, and I had planned on putting on my headphones and not talking to this man, but he was like, no, we're gonna have a conversation. And he was like, I just want to thank you. You're a teacher at this school, and my nephew had gone to that school, gave him a really great start, and now he's going to, I think he said Chaminade, which is a really fancy private school here in St. Louis. And he's like, and what's crazy is some white kid came up to him and was like, I can't believe you're number one in the class and you're black. And he was like, I guess he expected me to be like, oh. And I was just like, yeah. Yeah. He's like, you're not surprised? No. You know why I'm not
Yeah.
surprised? Because I grew up around white people the
Yeah.
whole time. So nothing, never shocked, sir. Never shocked. You can tell me anything. You can tell me they tried to eat your nephew, and I'd be like, oh, okay. Sounds about white. What are you
Sounds about
talking about?
white. Sounds about
Color me
white.
not shocked. Okay. But you tell me the story. I'm here to listen, but not
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah. No, dead ass. What about, have you guys been paying attention to the Ched the Builder story?
Was he like he has a mullet and a mustache and he was like going around talking about like free speech, but
Mm-hmm.
he was really like hate speech?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
I
Yeah.
learned about Ted the Builder when he shot himself. Like,
Me, same. Same. I think actually I take that back. I think he came across my Twitter timeline a couple of days before because some white guy, they were outside of somewhere and he was like harassing somebody and some white guy like stopped him and was like, dude, he called him by his government name. He called him Dalton. That's what got his attention because he called him by his government name, right? So now he's distracted him long enough that the black guy that he was harassing was able to get away. And he's telling him, like, dude, I know who you are. Like, I know people that went to high school with you. Like, didn't you used to be fat and you lost a lot of weight? Yeah, you have an opportunity to like really be inspiring to people and you're out here doing this fuck shit. Like, some bad shit's gonna happen. This is morally wrong. Like, you need to chill. And Chud the Builder was calling him the hard ER, and he's a white dude.
right.
Um, but so that was actually my first. I had never heard of him prior to that, but he's in Clarksville, which is where Monty and Fred live.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I don't know. And then the guy being a veteran, Joshua Fox, being a veteran that he was harassing. Um, yeah, I'm just like, he actually has a bond hearing because he's being held currently on a $1.2 million bond, but he has a bond hearing on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
So,
What a
yeah,
loser.
Yeah.
yeah,
The problem is that he survived doing these videos for this long. That's the problem.
yeah. That's the real problem. That's the real problem. But no, he's literally going around like he wants to shoot and kill a black person.
Oh yeah.
Like that's,
And that's
and
what's
so
crazy. It's like, why wasn't he on somebody's watch list? I mean,
yeah,
I know they don't, like he literally fits all the criteria for a school shooter, and yet like he's not on, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
well, it's
literally
so
like you have to like commit the crime, as a white man before they notice
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw somewhere where they said that they found they found evidence that he was maybe planning on committing some sort of a mass shooting event.
Right.
I don't remember if it was in his car or what,
Not
but it
surprised.
was like,
Not surprised.
again, right?
Right.
Yeah,
But it's not, it doesn't matter until like he actually commits the crime. And then it's
yeah,
like, oh, this is a problem. Well, it's too late now. He's already, you know what I'm saying, done the thing when he's been showing signs of needing to be locked up for a while.
yeah. And I've been seeing a lot of kind of juxtaposition between the Ched the Builder case and the Carmelo Anthony case. You remember Carmelo Anthony, the young man at the school who stabbed his bully and killed him,
Hmm.
whose trial starts on June 1st, by the way.
Hmm.
So I'll be keeping my eye on that and keeping us abreast on that. But yeah, I'm like, that's not the same thing at all. Carmelo Anthony was minding his business, and Chud the Builder was out bothering black people who were minding their business. Like it's
Right.
not, but in white people's mind, it's the same thing.
And in fact, those white kids were harassing him for no damn reason.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, again, white people not minding their goddamn business. So yeah, no. I mean, it's sad that somebody had to die, but it's also like sometimes people need to mind their business.
Yeah. Yep. What else do we got? What else do we got?
What else? Oh, I did see this video because it did get me thinking. It was like a farmer walking his land and he saw a helicopter like hovering and he dropped like the helicopter dropped a box full of ticks. And then I like was looking up there's been like a rapid increase in Lone Star ticks,
Hmm,
which like if you get bit can make you allergic to meat or something. I don't know. I didn't like do a whole deep dive,
heard
but I
that.
was like, that's kind of weird.
And coincidentally, Bill Gates is working on a new um what do you call it? Immunization for some
Oh,
sort
like
of
a
tick-borne
vaccine.
illness vaccine. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been seeing the videos of I've been seeing videos of multiple farmers finding boxes of ticks on their land and low-flying aircrafts dropping things.
Well, and then I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, if you have a lot of land, like, you probably don't know what's being, dropped. Like, if you have over, I'd say 70 acres, even, like, you don't know everything that's, like, happening,
Mhm.
especially if it's a wooded area.
Mhm. Mhm.
Lyme disease. That's what tick spread is Lyme
Yeah.
Yeah,
disease.
it's
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I
Lyme
was like,
disease.
what is the disease? It was just ruminating around in my forehead. Yeah, that's
Lyme disease.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, because, I mean, just because, you live in Georgia, Missouri, like, that's already a concern. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go into wooded areas, you go hiking or whatever, it's always like a super big deal. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
spooky.
mean,
And
you've been to
then,
my house. You've seen all these damn trees and
yeah,
woods around here.
yeah, and then on top of that, just with like knowing everything that we know, like they have defunded the CDC and disease control, and then all of the mechanisms and apparatuses and scientific endeavors that like keep all this under wraps. They got hantavirus on the loose, Ebola. You know what I'm saying? COVID ain't gone away. It's just lingering in the background.
I just had COVID again a couple of weeks ago.
That's crazy. I can't say that I haven't had COVID since the thing, especially because I work at an elementary school and like I hear people say things like germs are a good thing and I don't mind a little germ here or there, or a little, God made dirt don't hurt. Like watching somebody actively come into the lunchroom and not wash their hands after being around some naughty ass kids all day. Like, are you serious?
Well, and like I was telling a client last weekend, Key was doing her hair, and someone was out in the hallway coughing, and their mouth wasn't covered. They were just coughing and not covering their mouth. So Key closed the door to the suite. And the client was like laughing, but we're like, no, dead ass, because why are you not covering your mouth
That's
in
fucking gross
2026? Yeah.
Right.
Like
and
it was
so
gross in
disrespectful.
2019, but it's 2026, bitch. Cover your mouth.
They did not learn. There was no lesson from the people who needed to learn the lesson. There was no lesson learned at
And the
all.
number of people that are like, oh, I just have allergies, or oh, just make excuses when they're sick. But did you get a COVID test? Yes or no?
Right,
Because if you didn't get a test, then you don't know what it
right,
is all I'm saying.
right,
I started
right.
wearing a mask when I go to the grocery store again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I've
It
definitely have
blows my
considered like I do like
I
when
love it.
everybody is looking sick and nasty at work, I definitely wear masks.
Yeah.
And I definitely wear masks if I'm like, I have a runny nose. I'm not sure about this, but I haven't been tested. I also wear them. And people were like, oh, you're
Yeah.
so responsible. And I was like,
Duh, bitch.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that just is the courteous thing to do. Like, if I'm not feeling well, I stay home. And if I'm snotty or congested or whatever, I wear a mask. And I just say, like, I'm not feeling well today, and I just wanted to make sure that,
Yeah.
you know,
And I
I'm
let
not.
people know and say out of their face. Like I literally had somebody that like came like within like 6 to 12 inches of my face just to tell me that they were sick. Bitch, you could have told me that like 3 to 6 feet away.
Over there. Yeah,
Like you do not need to be right here to tell me
yeah.
that you might have COVID and that you're going home. Like you're going home.
This is why I hate people. This is why I
Yeah.
hate people.
No, I just be so perplexed. Like why they do the things that they do.
Yeah,
My
Or why you
sister,
expect me to have care and understanding while you're like in my face making bad choices.
yeah.
right. My sister works at Walgreens, and she said one time that someone spit on her, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, I
Did
would
she
go to
beat their
jail.
ass?
No,
Ooh, dear.
no. She still works there.
Right. No,
Would you get
I'm
fired
for
for beating somebody's ass if they spit on you? See, this is why I can't have a job.
yeah.
Absolutely, you would.
This is why I
You
can't
would
have a
get
job
fired
because
and probably charges pressed.
I feel like the
No,
charges would be dropped because spitting on me is assault. Like you
yeah,
assaulted me. I'm just
yes,
responding in kind.
absolutely. Absolutely. Any good
My
lawyer's
sister's
getting that
wife
thrown
said
out.
that.
And especially in 2026 after a pandemic and
Bio
you spit
warfare.
on me,
Bio warfare.
biowarfare. I'm
What do you
killing you,
mean?
bitch. You better
Literally
fucking run.
So nasty.
stabbing you.
I would, oh my God. This is why I can't have a job. This
No,
is
it
the
makes sense.
actual reason why.
No, it
I
makes
was like,
sense. Like, it's
I
a
would have
good
blacked
idea.
out.
It's a good idea to be able to have that freedom and autonomy. And I say that all like I try to explain to the people that I live with that I expend so much energy being positive at work that like you can't expect me to be like
I don't got it.
I don't got it.
I can't.
It's so hard, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And I feel like people will test your gangsta at like every chance. And the level of microaggression is just outstanding. You know what I'm saying? Like I actively avoid human interaction that isn't of the professional nature for that
yeah.
purpose.
Same, same.
That makes me think of when I worked at Applebee's and the host, who, mind you, literally was like shorter than me, had a Justin Bieber like haircut. And there was just one day where I was just not in the mood. And he just kept going and going. And I was like, Sebastian, I literally can't. Like, you've never seen this side that you're about to release right now. And he was like, I don't believe you. He's like, I don't even think you've yelled before. And I was like, okay, keep messing with me. And he
Now
did
look
it. And
at
I
you.
literally like picked him up and like had him on the wall, was like, is this what you want to see, Sebastian? Like, please don't fuck with me. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why'd I have to get that way? I warned you. And you just kept pushing me.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, some people only learn from personal experience.
Yeah.
Like you just can't tell them. You just can't, sit them down, have a heart to heart. You know what I'm saying? They don't learn that way. They need to touch the stove to understand that it's hot.
So infuriating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to
Well,
therapy for
now I'm
this.
in jail because you don't know how to
Right.
control yourself.
Yeah. Now
right.
I'm in trouble.
And I'm sorry you had to go through that, but I feel like pinning his ass up against the wall would have been my therapy
Yeah,
because it would have been like well deserved for him.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
what the hell?
and he never did it again. So
Exactly. Exactly. My mom always said you have to teach people how to read you, and he got a lesson that day, buddy.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I had to let this gentleman that used to work with me, he moved on, but he had got snappy with me, one too many times. And the second time he got snappy with me, I let him know that like you can't talk to me like that. I don't appreciate it. And I even did the professional thing of not doing it in front of children, which he didn't even give me the same respect. But I let him know that like you can't talk to me like that. And he's like, well, I only did it one other time, sir. Too many.
Right.
Too many. And just because everybody else around here, which I learned from that experience, like everybody else around here lets you come to them and talk to them crazy, great. But I have a man at home who don't play about me. And I have to go home and tell him about this situation and hope that that your children still have a
Yeah,
father, sir. You
yeah,
better get on with that BS. Like, what are you
yeah.
talking about? I don't know if you met the right one or the wrong one, but either way.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, he wasn't there for that much longer. I'm not saying it was because somebody was like, "Oh, he left," blah blah blah. It's like, not that I pushed him out the door, but I'm just saying I have good karmic energy because I was like, I know he's finna be gone because
Mm,
everybody likes me and people only pretend to like you.
yeah, no, for real.
So yeah. That's how it be, but you got to teach people that. And, all the white ladies coming up to me afterwards, thanking me for like standing up for myself and by default them because they hadn't found it in themselves to do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not fair. You know what I'm saying? And I had to pull a whole round of white girl tears in my supervisor's office. I was not, I was telling and I was crying.
Yes, as you should.
Yeah.
As you should.
I was crying because I
Gotta
couldn't hit
do.
this man, but they think
Right.
I'm crying.
Yeah. No, I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. I was just saying, like, if I've gotten to the point that I'm crying, you should just walk away
Yeah.
because somebody is about to
Yeah.
die.
I was literally pacing in the rain. I was outside in the rain pacing because I was like, I need to talk to him. I'm going to talk to him.
And
He's
I'm
going
not
to
trying to
hear
go to
from me.
hell.
Because the
Yeah.
first time he didn't hear from me for real. He heard from somebody else. And I'm like, no, you need to hear from me. I am not her.
Yeah.
Try somebody else.
Yeah.
And for the rest
Try
of the time that I was
Jesus,
there,
not me.
it was crickets. It was crickets. I don't know if he spoke to me or not, which is fine. Like, if you don't like me, don't speak to me. Don't go out of your way to try to be fake nice. Just pretend like I don't exist because that's where I'm at.
Literally.
Because I don't care if you speak to me or not. That's what you have to
Nah,
understand. I would rather you not, to be honest.
please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, because I will walk right past you and pay you dust.
Next time someone talks to you, just be like, "You can see me,"
Yeah,
and then just walk away.
Yes.
that would be good. But I feel
My
like after
goal.
that interaction, I feel like that has really solidified, like, because I am very like friendly and nice, seeming perception is that I'm very friendly and nice. And I think that kind of sealed the, you know what I'm saying? Like if I have beef with her, I'm a tread lightly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Um,
And
completely, again, another like complete pivot and back into politics. But I just came across something pointing out about the Capitol riot um
slush
restitution.
fund.
Yes, their reparations and how it adds up to 1776. Like the dollar amount that was set aside was 1776, which is crazy. But I think that where we are in history right now, like if Black people specifically don't take a stand and say that we're not moving forward without reparations, I don't think we'll ever get them. I feel like we're just in a space and time where it's now or never. Like, because they're steady trying to gaslight us about the Democratic Party, and they're steady like doing things and having conversations and not including black people, not standing up for black people, pretending that race doesn't exist. And I just feel like we're in a space now where we have to hold their feet to the fire right now, because if we don't do it right now, it's never gonna fucking happen. Promise to God, you're really about to pay insurrectionists
Yeah,
reparations.
so I heard that the way that the bill is set up is actually like going to be very, very broad. You know what I mean? Like as far as like who can apply for these funds. And I just feel like it would be like a missed opportunity if everyone who can, or everyone who just feels like they have, like Dre and I decided that based on my case with the St. Louis Police Department, that I could apply for this reparation fund. You know what I'm saying? Because my civil rights were infringed upon. I was, one of the cops was found, whatever. So I don't feel like I was truly given the repair that I need. So I feel like just everybody who feels like they've been harmed by the federal government, including any really black person, I feel like should apply and overwhelm the system, because I feel like if it, if it really, because like right now it's sitting in, kind of limbo, because even Republicans are like, no, this is not too far. Even the Senate was like too far. So, but I think if it passes, I think everybody should take advantage of it. Just apply.
Yeah.
And apply for like a ridiculous amount of money too, $1 billion. You know
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm so sick of this place. I fucking hate it here. And
I
I
just
cannot
haven't
stress that enough.
I was trying to articulate my thoughts because have you ever heard when people are like, especially, if they were like suicidal or bullied, they would say, like, I didn't expect to live this long. So now that I've made it to this age, I don't really know like what to do with my life. So then I was thinking about, okay, but what about us that didn't, thankful enough that I wasn't bullied and I'm not suicidal, but I always thought that the world was going to be a little different, and now that I'm old enough, it is not at all what I was told and how
Hmm.
it would be. And so now, like, I'm mourning the life that I thought I would have had by now because the system is not set up to how I thought it was supposed to be growing up. And it's
Yeah.
very
You got to
infuriating.
claim. You got to
No,
claim. You know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact.
Right.
No, for real.
And I really feel like, I think that like, um, they passed this thing, and I don't know the particulars of it, but I just really feel like, um, when the details comes out, they're not very smart. They're rushing the legislation, and I just think that more people should apply than not. It's a class action lawsuit.
Hmm. No, I'm here for it. I'm
I was
definitely
wondering how the kitty was. I was like, "What's the kitty doing?"
My my giant child was just holding him in midair because his whole personality is trolling me.
So funny.
Right,
hilarious.
right. Should have him
Mm.
on as a guest and ask him why he keeps bringing animals back to our house.
Just gotta say them.
I know,
And
I know. I low
not
key think
you too.
I think it's always a green flag. I mean, men are still men, but I always think it's a green flag when men like genuinely love cats.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Genuinely. And he genuinely loves this cat. It's his little son. And his son be outside acting bad. And I'd be like, you're not just gonna be leaving the house, leaving me with the grandkid while you outside
Right.
getting lit.
Hilarious.
Be quiet. But Yeah,
What?
yeah. I don't know this, but back to this reparations or so-called reparations slush fund. Not surprising. I really believe it's mostly just a money grab for Trump and his family themselves anyway, and it includes the clause that he nor his family can be prosecuted by the IRS. If that is not the biggest like tell, like, hey, we're gonna leave this, $1 billion slush fund, almost $2 billion slush fund, and you can't audit me nor my family for the rest of our lives, for all of infinity. Like, because not the kids, not the grandkids, not the great grandkids, like
What?
He wants to
jail.
be Kim Jong Un.
Jail. He needs jail.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he needed jail after his first term, and they didn't even try.
No,
They didn't
no,
even try. Like, you didn't even try.
no, no.
It's
Because
literally the Democrats' fault that we're in this position right now.
yes, yes, they didn't try. And, like as much as like the Republicans are like, oh, that's not the right way, da 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 da, they are intrinsically tied through all the blood money they take. They signed on, Project 2025 or whatever the heck has been in the works for years. They have signed on to, like play this role. And for whatever reason, the only way that you can, because of the big money, the only way that you can participate in Republican politics and really even Democratic politics is if you're signing on the dotted line. Because APAC spent all that money, or APAC affiliated spent all that money in Thomas Massey's race. And that's like a little itty bitty district in Kentucky or something. Nobody cares about that place. They spent all that money here in St. Louis for Wesley Bell. No one cares. And, watch, repeat all over the country.
Mhm.
And I think as we are more vocal about the fact that we don't support candidates who are supported by APAC, they'll find a way to still fund these
Funnel the money.
candidates,
Mhm.
but like quieter. Because like Wesley Bell will always be like, well, I didn't take $20 million from APAC. Well, no, you didn't. You took $20 million from United Friends of Israel, or whatever the name of the
Yeah.
organization is, who is a subsidiary. You just got, you don't even really have to go too far down the LLC paperwork to figure that out.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, a mess. So yeah, I don't know that it really matters, because again, I think the reason why the Democrats are letting things go is because they have financial incentives too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then that just, like, you just don't represent us. And then for them to come out talking about you should make it legal, insider trading legal, because they just can't bear to survive on what is it, $174,000 a year?
Right.
They make $174,000 a year, plus free healthcare, plus a pension, plus like $75 a day and per diem. But
Right.
you're telling us that we need to be more frugal with our money, and you're trying to give yourself a raise.
Yeah, $3 a meal, or what? Isn't that what they said? $3 a meal. The
Like,
Trump administration.
yes.
Do y'all remember that?
Serious? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you fucking serious? Y'all are getting $74 per diem a day of my money.
Right.
That I need to spend
Right.
$3 a meal. You can't even get a fucking Happy Meal for $3.
Nah. Yeah, and I really think that, because one of the arguments that they make is you both have to have a resident in hold on. You have to have a resident in DC, and then you have to have a resident in home. And like for people who, for $175,000, that could be hard for people who have a family. But I don't understand why they don't just have like dorm rooms.
Yeah.
for congressional people. Like, why do they need to go out and like find housing in DC? They should have, like
Yeah.
if you cannot afford it, this is basically public housing for them since they're public servants.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a decent little room or whatever. Like when we go to Jefferson City to take like a government field trip for, fourth graders or whatever, right? You get to go to the Supreme Court. And when you go of Missouri, when you go to the Supreme Court of Missouri, inside the Supreme Court, they have like a studio apartment.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Like, is it big? No. Can you, walk around it in 30 seconds? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
for the time that they're going to be spending doing their job, it's perfect. Why
You need a
wouldn't you
place
do
to
that for Congress?
shower, shit, shower, and shave.
Yeah, so that you know what I'm saying? Because you want to be incentivized anyway to be spending time in your home district where your real house should be, where your
Yeah.
family should be living. Because outside of that, you have, lifelong politicians like Lacey Clay Jr., who never really lived in St. Louis. His dad lived in DC. He was raised in DC. He raised his children in DC. He had a home in University. He had a townhouse in U City.
Yeah.
And for all we know, his cousin could have lived there.
He could be renting
So
out,
you just have
you
to
know.
have a residence in your district. You don't actually have to live there. And so, what was the incentive for him to be home? He didn't have a house here.
Yeah.
He didn't live here. His family wasn't here. So
Oh
I
my
really
god.
think pay them peanuts. But yeah, okay, you want the health care, you got a place to stay, you get the same salary. That's enough to survive on. And still far more than you want people the average Americans to pay.
Yeah.
And people who serve in like state legislatures, they make like $40,000 a year. So that lets you know right there, you have to have another job.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And yeah, they don't work the whole year, but it doesn't matter. Neither do the people in DC. $40,000 a year, that's all they get in a state legislature. And you still, if you live in, at the top of Missouri, that's a good 5 hours, 6 hour drive one way to work every day. So no, you're probably going to have a place in Jeff City, but you got to do that on $40,000 salary. How are they making it work?
Yeah.
But you can't make it work in DC for 3 times that.
Mm, mm, mm.
I
So
think
yeah,
after this podcast, I'm gonna have a nice screen.
he said a nice screen.
Yeah.
I want to be a like positive, happy person so bad.
I mean, I'm positive this shit is fucked, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And just like I tell the receptionist at my job when I get there, she was like, "Why are you all happy today?" I'm like, "Girl, you gotta fake it till you make it. Ain't nobody happy."
Not for real.
True.
So valid.
See, some people are living too far in the future. I'm just living, you know what I'm saying, to get through these next few moments. Looking for the bright side of the little things.
Yeah.
The weather's nice today.
The weather was nice today.
Yeah. I mean, and how much longer are we going to be able to enjoy good weather? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be drought conditions. It's like a super El Nino or something coming, whatever that
Right.
means.
And they're turning the entire United States into a data center. So
I mean, like the Matrix, what is that, predictive programming? It's like the Matrix warned us. And, we're like, oh, they're going to plug our bodies into this machine and, harvest whatever. But that maybe that's not the soul harvesting that they were doing. You know what I'm saying? The metaphor. You got to dig into the metaphor. They're not going to literally plug you into the machine, but the machine is going to take over in the sense that they're getting all of our natural resources and they're literally harvesting our souls through basically social media. They're what do they call that, like energy.
Energy harvesting, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that.
or get out where they were, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Granny is exhausted, okay? I'm just tired. I'm so tired.
Word,
I feel
word,
like it has been very tiring and exhausting for people who are like very connected with the earth or the water and stuff. Cause yeah, like I feel like I've could like go to sleep for 12 hours a day and still not like feel fully rested. And I'm like, something's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, like last night, I was incredibly high, and I just, it's just the truth. And I decided, you know what I'm saying, in a moment of ranting or just kind of randomly talking that, like, you know, 250th anniversary of America, and wasn't didn't like Rome fall in around 250 years, and that's about the approximate timetable for the fall of any society. And I think like part of the reason why we're all just like so depressed or whatever is because that is a part of the grieving process, in that like while we are not intrinsically tied like emotionally to this, like we love it, we're still, what I'm saying, it's been a part of our life our whole lives, you know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
in some respects we are all going through the grieving process of the loss of empire and the death of, what I'm saying, this particular empire. And also like it's still kind of a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it sucks that we have to witness it, that it's like in our lifetime, but like also
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's such opportunity that could, arise from the fall of the empire. When you think about, empires falling, like I think a lot of times people focus on the war and the death and destruction, which does happen. And like as the Roman Empire was falling, like people were still living and going about their daily lives, you know what I'm saying, as like change was occurring. Like there are people who are descendants of the people who were part of that empire. Like they still live, they still go on. It's just the death of that particular empire, which really didn't die. It just transformed itself into the British Empire, that transformed itself into the American Empire. And so hopefully we have an opportunity to allow this monster to die and allow something new to form in its place, rather than just continuing the same empirical um like journey that they've been on for the past like thousands of years. We need new management.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so
Fingers
like that's that is the theory that I low key hold on to. You know what I'm saying? To be like, well, yeah, it's bad and everything like feels terrible, and we are just like part of the like a what is ultimately, what I'm saying, the dying empire. And hopefully, what I'm saying, we're through our discourse, we're adding to at least like either speeding that process up, maybe helping people survive it through community love and compassion, or what I'm saying, just reminding people that that we can be distracted for a couple hours, what I'm saying, in order to find joy, because joy is in itself a form of resistance, especially in the face of oppression. So I just tell myself these things.
Yeah. No, my actual motto these days is that joy is a form of resistance. I
Yeah,
just have to keep reminding myself of that.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Same, same. And I say it all the time too, when people are like, oh, it's so bad. And I'm like, yeah, joy is a form of resistance. We're out here.
Just out here doing my best.
Hmm.
One of
Hmm.
my favorite things to say to people is when they're like, "Oh, how are things going?" I'm like, just trying to live that dream that MLK Jr. had for me.
Mhm.
The receptionist at my job, if you ask her how she's doing, and she's like, do you want the truth?
That's what I should say.
She's like, don't ask me how I'm doing if you don't want me to really tell you.
No, for real.
He's like, I'm
For
not
real.
with that filler conversation. I'm not.
For real. Because you
You
could have
want
just
me to
kept
be
walking.
honest?
Right. High is always an option.
Yeah.
So don't ask. Yeah.
All
That's great.
right. Do we have anything else that we like must get off of our chest? Anything else? No.
No.
Other than I got to go see MJ the musical.
The musical,
Yes,
not the movie.
the musical. Yes, at the Fox Theater.
How was it?
It was good. It was really good. Yeah, it lots of you like of course you get a lot of his music and a mix of some other music thrown in there too to move the story. But yeah, it revolves around I think like 1993 when he was about to go on tour, and like how he was like spending all this money and had to leverage like Neverland Ranch, and it just kind of like they go back in time and just show like his childhood and Joseph being abusive and him trying to move past like the Jackson 5 and all the things. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a nice
Good.
little musical.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah,
see
I
the
enjoyed
movie?
it. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Have you
So
seen the movie, Impact?
Mm-mm.
No.
did you
I've
see it?
I've seen it twice. Yeah. I went and
Yeah.
saw it with P like when it first came out, and then I just went again last week and saw it with Mom and Aunt Vicky. Um,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it was good. It was good. Um, yeah, it was
My
good.
mom mentioned that there was a sibling that wasn't really featured too much, and she
There were
kind of
two
was,
siblings that weren't
and she was,
featured.
yeah, and she was kind of like, "Oh, I wonder if they signed off on it or like what the deal was surrounding like that."
Yeah, Janet nor Reby were mentioned at all. Janet very specifically, girl, get out of here with that. Um,
Cats.
Janet very specifically didn't want to be included. Um, and I don't remember why.
Which is
Um,
like, I mean, crazy that they would still do the movie then, right?
yeah, and it was his family. Like a lot of the people involved were his family. Like I know one of his sons was one of the executive producers, and like a couple of his brothers.
Yeah, but Janet
Um,
don't mess with the family like that. You
mm,
know? I
mm,
mean, honestly, like when I'm looking at like, yeah, I've gone down a couple like MJ rabbit holes, and it was like even if you like watch the musical, he really did not like his brothers like that. He really did not like his family like that. I mean, I think in so many respects, especially as he got older, he was feeling used. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? Feeling like, and I feel like Janet probably felt the same way. And because Janet and Michael were probably the closest amongst anybody, I feel like she was
mhm.
like, nah, I'm not for me. I
Yeah,
don't want to be a part of this. Um, yeah. And I think that the brothers really felt like, or he really felt like while he was alive, that the brothers were using him for, money and fame and
and
to
they
do the
definitely
thing.
touch on that in the Michael movie. They touch on
Yeah.
it. Well, with that Joe specifically is like trying to bully him into
Yeah.
continuing to.
Even in the musical, they didn't really, I think maybe Janet was mentioned once and it was
Hmm.
kind of in passing. So yeah, I don't think that she really wanted too much to do with it.
Yeah. And then I know in the movie that Diana Ross also specifically didn't. I think they had to cut like 30 minutes of the movie because Diana Ross didn't want to be
She
mentioned
wasn't
or part of it either.
she wasn't in the musical either, for real.
Hmm.
And I mean, but also like as I've gone down like the rabbit hole, Diana Ross was a groomer. So like
Yeah,
maybe she does not want to be mentioned because she is part of the problem.
yeah,
And like and just even separately from Michael, she was not a good she's still alive. She
yeah. Is
she
not.
is
Yeah.
not she was
Or
not
wasn't at that time. Yeah,
yeah, as a young woman, she was a terrible person.
yeah,
Like she did like the things that people said about her, like multiple people said about her, like she was a mofo.
yeah,
She was sleeping around to get ahead. She was
yeah,
scheming and scamming on other artists, like taking things
yeah,
from them, using her body to, get the people in charge to do what she wanted. Like,
yeah,
yeah, she was
yeah.
nobody to be
And Dirty
trifled with.
Diana was supposedly about Diana Ross.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. Um, I went down a wormhole recently where they were talking about this song that Michael Jackson wrote. I think it was called like Don't Cry for Palestine. And that immediately after that is when, now the song was actually never released, but that immediately after that is when all of the charges started coming up against him. And I found that fascinating.
I heard something similar, but like I've also heard that the thing like Michael Jackson was a weirdo for the way that he had relationships with children. Like that's undeniable. And that and like the Corey said that he never touched them, Macaulay Culkin said, and those were like the main three in Hollywood that everybody knows got touched, right? But they said that apparently that a lot of the stuff that was in the files, the e-files about that they put on Michael Jackson as a red herring because it was easy to do, but that he was somebody who didn't really have a whole lot of like dealings with them.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll never really know, but I know that multiple people have come out and admitted that they were offered a lot of money to make up stories about Michael Jackson. Um, and I do find the timing suspicious. And you're right. He did have weird ass shit going on where children are concerned, as far as like a grown person sleeping in the bed with children that aren't theirs is weird as fuck. There's no way around that. And also, there's other weird ass shit going on. Um, yeah. So, but I guess we'll never know because he's not here to defend himself.
I'll never forget when uh it was Trump and Biden against each other, and some guy from my high school put out, and like don't get me wrong, all those pictures and videos of like Joe Biden sniffing the girl's hair and stuff. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's weird, but also I've never heard Joe Biden say that like if his daughter wasn't his daughter, he would fuck her.
Right.
Like
Right.
that was crazy.
Yeah. Have you
But
guys been seeing that all of a sudden Hunter Biden is making rounds and doing interviews? Have you noticed that?
Wait, who's giving interviews?
Hunter Biden is all of a sudden making rounds and doing interviews, and I'm just wondering if he's getting ready to run for some sort of office. I just don't know where it's coming from all of a sudden.
I don't think he's going to run for office.
I was like, is he in politics?
He's not in politics. No.
Okay.
So that's why, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. He's making rounds right now. Like I've seen like 3 different interviews of his just pop up out of nowhere. I've never seen Hunter Biden anything on my timeline ever. And all of a sudden he's making rounds and doing interviews. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
And lying his face off the whole time because I watched one of them out of curiosity. And he's just lying. Like he's trying to make like the whole Gaza thing all Trump's fault. Like his dad wasn't in office when the shit popped off.
Right.
Like, bro, do you know we can hear you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, but also like I think he shortly after like Trump got into office, he did like an interview and he got a lot of like publicity off of it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like he like people because he was, being honest. He looked a little cracked out. He was just saying whatever. So people were like very much interested. I don't know. I mean, he could run for something. I mean, he might get put in somewhere, but I think people definitely, I mean, it worked for the mayor of DC. So maybe, being an crackhead could also work for Hunter
And
Biden.
an ex crackhead just ran for office, was just on our ballot here in Georgia.
Wow.
I need to look to see actually if he won or not because yeah, he was on the ballot when I was driving Key to go vote. She was like looking people up.
That's crazy.
I was trying to see if he won. I mean, if he made it in this round of voting. It doesn't say. It just says he ran in the primary on May 19th. But yeah, it doesn't say. I'll have to. But he's a former crackhead. Like Kiera was looking to see like as we're on our way to the polls, she's like, who should I vote for? You know, so she's just like looking at people. And so one of the signs that we saw was Tim Ryan. And when she looked it up, like that was his on his webpage was like, yeah, basically he was a former crackhead. Like, wow. Okay. Like leading with that is crazy, but okay.
Right. I guess he didn't want you to have to go, hear about it from
Yeah,
somebody, not him.
yeah. It says he was a former middle school teacher
And a crackhead.
and a crackhead.
Oof.
Prior to his campaign, Ryan resigned from the school system on March 31st, 2025. Local news outlets reported on a lengthy personnel file detailing multiple complaints from parents, students, and administrators regarding boundary issues and inappropriate comments, in addition to being a crackhead.
Wow.
Sounds like he might be a predator as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we saw him with two children, like holding signs as we were going to vote. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I really just feel like they're just all out loud with it now because there's no consequences. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Kind of
I
hell.
always say that, yeah, that there was this article that was, like people say that we live in a rape culture, but really we live in a pedophile culture. And like that was like the whole article. And like I just think like it was written a while ago and hopefully I can still find it because I'm like, oh, I need to share this article that somebody wrote probably like 5 to 10 years ago
Yeah.
about
There's a
Yeah.
exactly what this is
documentary
culture.
called "Are All Men Pedophiles?"
What
Mm.
now?
There's a documentary called "Are All Men Pedophiles?" and it is very interesting because it talks about like how teen porn is typically like the number one like
Wow.
porn choice for a lot of men, and how if you are to ask like some men their preference, like it's clean shaven and like a very childlike
Yeah.
body and
Yeah.
attitude essentially.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that that's very much it's very much like a Western and like white supremacist like beauty standard to be, thin, no hair, like all the things, and then was like slowly adapted over time to like more men. But yeah, I've heard like other like women or like doctors, theorists who have said that like yes, to answer your question or the documentary's question, like yes, and that laws are for men in order to specifically male humans, like male adult
Yeah.
humans, to keep them in line because part of their biology or whatever their sociology is that they need to have a leader and to follow a certain set of rules in order to advance beyond like their base nature. Like their whole theories about that.
Yeah.
So that documentary makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was very eye opening. It's like, ooh, yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like that, along with the I don't know the name of it, and I didn't watch it because I don't feel like it's not for me. Which is the like the red pill documentary about um like the red pill guys and how they're frauds and like how they're like only married virgins, but like they're married to like only fan models and
Yeah.
only married to skinny, girls and da da da, and they're married to like plus size women who have children from another marriage. You know what I mean? Like, so all the things that they are saying that are terrible is embodied in like
The things that
somebody
they're
that,
into. Yeah.
yeah,
They
yeah,
fucking figures. Fucking
right,
figures.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I watched that documentary and I wanted to
You
Yeah.
just wanted to scream.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it through like TikTok clips and I was like, yeah, I get the gist of it. And when somebody definitely broke it down and they broke it down in the context of like the target audience is males, is you know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
and so, like, a lot of the ways in which it came across was like a lot of women would find objectionable because it wasn't made for us. It was made because they didn't like really talk about the impact that like these actions had on women. It was mostly like, yeah, these men are doing these terrible things and look how stupid and like hypocritical they or hypocritic they they hypocrites that they are because they're saying one thing doing another. um so it was just exposing the men, but it wasn't really talking about, the trauma or the impact on the women that are on the other end of this.
Right.
Well, there's one clip where the journalist does try to talk to one of the girls.
Mhm.
I can't think of the one dude's name, but he has the podcast. He kind of looks like Andrew Tate, but he has hair and
Okay.
he's darker than Andrew. But while he was on air, Justin like Trudeau, I think that was his name. Like he goes back into the back and he like starts talking to one of the girlfriends, and then she like gets a text on her phone that she has to stop talking to him and that he has to return back to where the boyfriend is.
Wow.
Yeah. And like now that I'm thinking about it, there was never really a chance for the cameras and the journalists to be alone with the women. Like even there when they were interviewing one, they were talking to his mom because his mom was there, and like the son wouldn't even allow her to be alone with the journalists and the cameras. And even when she kind of pushed back a little bit, the red pill guy brought up how the journalist was a Jew and how he like supports Israel and stuff. And
Hmm.
like just completely changed the whole like subject, because then she was like, so you're a hypocrite because like what about what Israel's doing to Palestine? And it was just like a whole like, whoa, what? How did we
Right.
go from that? But
Right.
yeah, it was a crazy documentary.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yee. Well, believe it or not, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just yappity yap yap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any last thoughts before I pull the plug?
Nope.
Anyone?
I got
Going
nothing.
twice?
Nope. Got nothing.
Bye.